What's up, guys? I wanted to make this short video for you, talking to you about quarters coverage. It is a much talked about coverage. It is a coverage that's being run a lot, really at all levels. But if you talk to cornerbacks, the majority of them hate the coverage. I would say almost as many safeties hate it as well, but not as many as cornerbacks. Cornerbacks truly hate this coverage. Whether you hate it or you love it, it's going to be run for now, until it becomes clear that it's a coverage that's no longer going to work against whatever the offenses are doing. So you might as well learn how to make plays in it. And in this video, I'm going to tell you ways that you can steal interceptions when playing quarters. And it's going to be pretty obvious to you when I show it to you, but nevertheless, let's not talk too much about it. Let's get into the tape. First of all, I grabbed this video from Edge NFL Matchup. Great show, talks about strategy. And in last week's show, they were talking about how the Packers attack cover 4. And they showed an example of them against the New Orleans Saints early in the year. And one of the biggest ways to attack cover 4 is to put together in some way, shape, or form a post and a curl or post dig combination to take the safety out of the play. Let me pause it here right quick. To take the safety out of the play and turn it into a man-to-man matchup against a cornerback, which typically has outside leverage and puts him at a big disadvantage, especially on the big post throws, the ones that start with the receiver over here and then he ends up way over here. That's the big killer for the cornerbacks playing this in this quarter situation, because even as you could see it here, the Saints are playing quarters. Here is the safety, Marshawn Lattimore, playing outside leverage in this, because there is somewhat of an assumed double team with this guy if the wide receiver number 1 is going to go to the post. But a lot of times that double doesn't happen because something attracts the safety and pulls him off of that potential double team. And now it turns into single coverage for this guy who has outside leverage, and oftentimes this type of route beats us. And you're going to see that being diagrammed here as I continue rolling this. There is a curl combination that you're going to see, and then there's a dig combination backside. You're going to see this taken away as they're going to diagram here for you. So pausing it, to hold this backside safety and this corner, has to be something on this backside to keep them from leaking back into this play. And in this particular case, which is a lot of times the case, this backside receiver, and I'm going to run it back some, I'm going to notice what this backside receiver runs. He ends up running, and I don't want to take it back too far, but this backside receiver, this one right here, is going to end up running a dig. That's going to take the safety out of it. It's going to take the corner out of it, but it shouldn't take the corner out of it. Okay? One of the best ways to steal, and here we are getting an example of what I'm talking about. It's not the backside corner that gets done in on this one. It's the safety on this particular case. And what he has is the big post here, but this safety who could have possibly helped him is now occupied by this route being run by this wide receiver. Now I'm going to tell you what should happen here, but let's just watch this unfold. It's a post. Now it's a race to the other numbers. I don't care who you are. I don't care how fast you are. That's very difficult for you to defend and to get to and to beat that wide receiver to it. You have to be really, really fast, and that wide receiver has to have pretty average speed. What can help us a lot here and how corners can really help themselves in this coverage, I'm not talking about this coverage on this side, I'm talking about the corner on this side. When you guys lose this threat into your area, this guy, when he runs that dig route, when he runs in here or he goes to the post here or he goes anywhere in here and you lose that threat, so many corners are going to do what Janoris Jenkins does here. And this guy's he's pretty savvy football player, always has been, and he's a multi-year NFL vet. And even he gets caught with this. If guys would just leak off of this, this guy is no longer your responsibility. If you would just know that in quarters, you are being, the backside guys, these guys over here are being set up. If you would just know this instinctually and fall back, this backside corner could run himself into so many easy interceptions. It's not even funny because this quarterback is eyeballing what's happening here. They usually won't see you backside falling back into that deep quarters. They usually won't see it. And you could just leak right back in here and get a ball thrown right to you. In this particular case, though, we're going to see Janoris Jenkins, who's right here, stop. So you're going to end up with a double team on this guy who's pretty much running a dummy route, all just to open things up for this guy. All right, and if it's not that guy, sometimes it ends up being this guy. More times than not, it ends up being this guy. And once they cross the safety's face or the cornerback's face and that ball is thrown to the opposite numbers, it becomes very difficult play for those guys to make. But if this corner could just leak back instinctually when this guy goes in here and you lose him as a vertical threat, you can, again, get balls thrown right to your face. Just imagine that happening in this particular scenario. Imagine Janoris Jenkins leaking back, straight back on those numbers, an easy interception. So, guys, when you're playing quarters and you're backside and you lose that vertical threat to your side, you have no one else pushing you deep, or you're not getting, something pushing you back into your fourth. Don't go jumping that dig. It's no longer your responsibility. That's the safety's responsibility. Just leak back and wait for the inevitable big post that's coming to the opposite numbers, which means your side. All right. Every now and then, though, the adjustment to that is going to be to have the guy on your side start running a comeback that you're going to feel obligated to go jump. That's going to be the adjustment to that. But until they do that, man, when those digs and those in routes happen in front of you and you have no more vertical threats, just automatically leak back and wait for that big post. You'll thank me later. All right, guys, if you have any questions on this, feel free to reach out to me at cwilson@alleyesdbcamp.com. You can email me again, cwilson@alleyesdbcamp.com. Thank you guys for being members. And always remember, All Eyes DB Camp, consistency breeds results.